Hi, my name is Jack Tester. I'm the President and CEO of Nexstar Network. And welcome to this series of audio podcasts we're calling Leadership Lounge. And I think that name is kind of representative of something very important. You know, at Nexstar, we do a lot of events and a lot of learning happens from the main stage as speakers and trainers talk about how to improve in this business. But what we really find, the amazing learning occurs in private conversations at the table, maybe out in the hallway on breaks or as this name would indicate, even in the bar late at night. That's where people really start to share honestly what's going on in their business, some of the challenges they're facing. That's where real brave conversations happen. And that's what we want these leadership audio podcasts to represent. We want this to be the truth. We want to talk about hard subjects that every one of us struggle with. And we know leadership, the most important component to a business. Doesn't matter what your marketing is, all the training in the world. If you don't have amazing leaders at the top of the business, setting the direction, living by example, the principles that are important to the business, it's just not going to work. So leadership, it's everything, and that's what these Leadership Lounge audio podcasts will talk about and hopefully help you with. So enjoy these. We'll enjoy bringing them to you as well. Why do you do what you do? What drives you to be extraordinary? I think the most important question in business is why. And when it comes to leadership, I think the most important question is why. Why be extraordinary? You know, behind every amazing business, behind every great business venture in this industry or any industry, is an amazing leader with huge ambition, with a burning why inside them that causes them to do great things. I'm reminded as I think about this about the founder of Nexstar, Frank Blau. Frank was extraordinary, and he did great things in his life. And I reflect on Frank's journey that got him to Nexstar. And I'll say that when he started in business in 1960. He was a young man. Frank had a huge family. He had 9 kids. And I know why he went into business. He wanted a better life for his family. It was a very personal, maybe the wrong word to use is selfish, but Frank had 9 kids to feed, and he had big dreams for his family. So I know that's why he started Blau Plumbing. It wasn't to change the world or to change the industry. It was a very self-centered, in a good way, reason to start the business. Now, I met Frank in 1990. I'll say he was about 61, 62 years old. And Frank had run a great business for decades at the point I saw him. His family was grown. They were out of the house. He had amassed some wealth. And that same reason, that same why, was gone in Frank's life. But yet he was the most driven person I'd ever met in that point in my life. You see, his why had changed. What got him up early, what got him to work late at night, was completely different at that point. See, Frank wanted to change this industry. He really felt it was his personal mission because he had grown a successful business. He had seen so many other contractors struggle. And he knew that you could do it. And he wanted to share what he called the medicine with this industry. That's what drove him to work as hard as he did at age 60 as most people do when they're 30. It caused that why in Frank's life, caused him to start Nexstar. So let's go back. You know, your goal as a leader, I hope, is to be extraordinary. And in order to be extraordinary, you've got to have this amazing motivation within you. You have to have a compelling why. And this audio podcast is going to talk about the fact that as you grow as a leader, as you age as a human, your why can change. Now let's talk about myself. Now when I met Frank, I was 29 years old. He asked me to be the first employee of Nexstar. I remember the day I quit my other job to start this organization was the same day I took my wife home from the hospital after she gave birth to our second son, Brent. Frank offered me about $15,000 more than I was making, grand total of $45,000, which was great money to me in 1992. So I accepted the job. That was my why. I had a young family that this job allowed my wife to stay home with our 2 children at this point. And I would have worked anywhere hard to maintain that $45,000 a year salary, because the reality was at that time I was a professional nobody. I knew that I couldn't go out and find another $45,000 a year job easily. So I was compelled to make Nexstar work. I also wanted to create a name for myself. I wanted to have a better than average career. So my why was very central to myself. It was my family. It was my desire to have an amazing career. Now let's fast forward 20 years. My kids are out of the house. I've got a professional name for myself. That why that I had as a young man was gone, and I will tell you, there was a time where it was tough for me to still work hard. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting up as early as I used to. I couldn't figure out why challenges at work seemed to be so much more irritating than they used to be. And as I reflected on this, I realized that I had kind of lost my reason to work hard, my why. And I had to do some soul searching and some work to figure out how to get motivated and what to do and why I should do it, really. And of course, at this point in my life now, I have found that why. I've really owned the mission of Nexstar. I've really understood and accept the responsibilities I have, that if I do a great job, if I'm extraordinary as a CEO of Nexstar, Nexstar will change the lives of members at Nexstar. I know that's what will happen, so I get up early because I want to help people. And of course, I want to help the amazing employees at Nexstar have the same career opportunities that Frank gave me through this amazing organization. So my why transitioned from self somewhat to others. And the purpose of this podcast is for you to reflect, for you to make sure there's some compelling reason in your life that's going to make you extraordinary in your job. And also to confront the fact that maybe your why is faded. The same reason you went into business, maybe that's gone now. And you're going to have to find out, like I did, some other reason to be extraordinary. So I'm going to leave you with a couple thoughts here. One, you got to have a compelling why in order to be extraordinary. As you age, as your life transitions, I encourage you to think beyond yourself, to think about your responsibilities to your company, the employees, and the mission of your company, making sure that you completely own that motivates you. Maybe you'll find your why there. Well, wish you all the best as you think about this. Again, why is the most important question in business and the most important question when it comes to motivating yourself as a leader. Thanks so much.